Hi everyone, Emily here from Emily's Excellent Epics, and today I have for you, I'm combining yesterday and today's book into one video. So yesterday I did not post a video. I forgot to film ahead on Monday. Oops. And yesterday I worked a basketball game after school. So I left the house at 6:45 and I got home at 8:30. I was not about to record anything yesterday. I was just mentally, physically exhausted. So I have yesterday, December 15th, I think. Hold on. 21st, 20th, 19, 18, 17. So today's December 17th, right? 17, 18, 19. Yeah. So I have December, excuse me, I'm so sorry. December 16th and December 17th video or books to talk about in today's video. Oh, and also I got to show off my Christmas present that I got from my sister. It says Elaine Galanthinus. I don't know how to pronounce the name. And then it says Fireheart. And then at the very bottom, there it says she was fire and light and ash and embers. She was Aelin Fireheart, and she bowed for no one and nothing. Dun, dun, dun. All right, there's stuff on the back too. All right, so we are counting down my top 24 books of 2025, and excuse me, books 24 through number 11, there's just in no particular order. Books 10 through 1, it is in the order that I would rank them for the year. I just had a mental brain fart. The rules were I could not do any rereads, and I also I could not repeat books in the same series, which will come into play for book number 2 that I'm going to be talking about. So, but first, for book number 9, I read The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse by Charlie Mackenzie? I don't know. And I just thought this book was so beautiful. It's just about a boy and his adventures with the titled animals as they wander through a wood on a winter evening and just reflect on life and relationships and purpose and kindness. And every book is every page is beautiful. So let me show you. So we have that. There's this. There are so many pages and so many sayings that I was just like, oh, they were very meaningful. It's not really a story, it's just more reflections. And everything's just really meaningful. The illustrations are beautiful. Some call this a children's book. I would not call this a children's book, and here's why. I want you to take a look at the script there. Children can't read that. Some adults can't read that because it's cursive or like a kind of cursive. So even some adults might have a challenging reading, but I feel like the font would prevent some children from reading it. So I would not call this a children's book. I would call this a book for all ages. A child might need an adult to read it to them. But again, I just thought a lot of the sayings were just something that were deep and just reflected on them. The next book, this one, I had a hard time deciding. And finally, in this series, because again, I could only pick one in a series. That would be Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. And, excuse me, this is book, I don't know, book 5, book 4, hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is book 5 in the Throne of Glass series. This is the last book that I read, and holy for holies, so much happens in this book. It's really hard to talk about a book that is book 5 in a series without spoilers, but we meet a character, Manon, who is a witch that I am just fascinated with her. And I love her point of view. I'm looking forward to more of her. But let's go back to the beginning and what this series is about if you're not familiar with this series. So this is a romantasy series, but I'm going to just tell you right now, yes, there's romance. There is no spice so far, and now granted, I hear that there gets to be spice in Empire Storms, Tower of Dawn, and Kingdom of Ash, okay? But we're at book 5, and there is no spice. We know that spicy time happens, but it's all behind closed doors, okay? So, in the series, we follow Selena Sardothian. She was a trained and paid assassin. And she, one day, gets captured and she gets thrown in the salt mines of Adarlan. Adarlan, the kingdom, has these salt mines. And she becomes enslaved in these salt mines. And the thing about these salt mines is most people die. They don't make it very long in there. And she survives a year, which is quite unusual. And after a year, the Prince Dorian, and Kale, who is like the commander of the guard, the army guard, they visit Selena in the salt mines and say, "We want you. The king is having this contest to see who will become the king's assassin. And we want you to compete in this contest, and in exchange, we'll grant you your freedom after how many years of service." And Selena agrees to that. And through the course of the series, we learn more about her backstory. We learn more about Dorian's backstory, Kale's backstory. What is going on with this king? Is he a good king? Is he a bad king? Spoiler. Probably is bad. So, of course, excuse me. I'm sorry. I have asthma and it's winter. There's magic, of course. There's fae. And I really want to read Empire of Storms. And the problem right now is that it's December. And I want to read also all the Christmas romances and the Christmas mysteries. But I also am like, ooh, in 2 days, hallelujah, 2 days, will be the start of my spring break. Gosh, I wish. It'll be the start of my winter break. And I just want to sit and binge Empire of Storms. So we shall see what happens. I binge Empire of Storms. But with Throne of Glass, I toyed with putting Throne of Glass on there. I toyed with putting Air of Fire on there. I did not toy with putting the Assassin's Blade on there, even though I enjoyed it. And I also toyed with putting Crown of Midnight on there. But this one I put on there because this is where we meet Manon and Abraxas. And they are really pretty cool characters. And I'm looking forward to learning more about them. So, thank you so much. Since I had this book, put a horse or a fox or a mole emoji. Or if you want, now Abraxas is a wyvern. I don't know if we're going to have wyverns for emojis, but I know we've got dragon emojis. So you can put a dragon emoji if you're not sure what to comment. But if you do know what to comment, have you read any of those books? What are your thoughts? Or what's your favorite childhood book? Besides The Boy, the Fox, the Mole, and His Horse, my favorite childhood book growing up was The Very Hungry Caterpillar, Green Eggs and Ham, but top billing was The Pokey Little Puppy. It was a little golden book, and I love The Pokey Little Puppy. And if I can find it, every baby shower I go to, I give them a copy of The Pokey Little Puppy. Ooh, and I forgot Pat the Bunny. Pat the Bunny is also an amazing book. We wore through multiple copies of those books in my household. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Hit like, subscribe, the notification button, leave a comment down below. All those things help the channel grow. Bye.